Hello, fellow software engineer. I'm Dr. Derek Austin, and this is Career Programming, where I give you programming career advice based on my 20-year career as a full-stack SWE. I was a freelancer for 15 years. Here's why full-time SWE jobs are still a trap. Coding is a versatile profession because traditional full-time employment isn't the only option, just the most popular one. Here's my advice to you after 20 years in the tech industry. I started coding so long ago, professionally starting in 2005, that web developer wasn't even considered a serious career path. Plus, I majored in bioinformatics with a computer science concentration instead of majoring in computer science. That was enough to keep me out of full-time work as a software engineer, since my first job title was webmaster. Yes, hiring managers are that dumb. They prefer any work experience with the right job title over a summa cum laude new grad with a BS and MS. As a result, I was a freelancer for 15 years before I was a full-time software engineer for the next 5. During these past 20 plus years, I've made money coding all of the 3 most popular ways coders can make money. Now it feels like layoffs are always looming in the tech industry, so let's talk about your options and how they can impact your career and finances. Which job is best? Photo by Getty Images for Unsplash Plus. Unsplash Plus license, used with permission. Option 1, client work, freelancing as a software engineer. Pay, 2 out of 5. As a freelancer, you'll make great or terrible money based on your luck and your clientele. Pros, cons. You get to be your own boss and name your prices, but you have to market yourself and sell to clients. The trick to success? Repeat clients who provide some stability to otherwise lumpy income. Why did I stop doing it? Clients don't like to pay on time, they make ridiculous demands, and they prefer small teams to solo devs. Option 2, indie/solo developer, games and apps. Pay 1 out of 5. While Stardew Valley made millions, most indie devs don't. And that's why there are so many courses. Pros/cons. You're a founder with complete creative control, but you're broke as a joke. At least at first and for a long time until you win. The trick to success? Code to market by coding what sells, whether that's pixel art games on Steam, small Unity projects, or iPhone apps. Why did I stop doing it? Previously, I hadn't earned enough to pay my bills as a solo dev, so I cut my bills and changed my strategy. Now I'm a full-time content creator and indie game dev again. Option 3, get a job, contract or permanent. Pay 5 out of 5 for big tech, or 4 out of 5 for smaller companies. Pros, cons. Working a full-time software engineering job pays the best by far, at least until you get hit by a tech layoff. But you'll have a boss and coworkers you'll need to please by playing office politics. The trick to success? To maximize salary, aim for big tech or contract roles, but always remember they can fire you at any time without cause, at least in most of the USA. Why did I stop doing it? 10 years of full-time work across sports medicine and software engineering were more than enough for me. No thank you. What you should do if you're an unemployed SWE. Many people assume full-time salary work is the only option for coders, but coders are creatives who can easily work for themselves, like designers. In fact, if you've been out of work for 3 months or longer, like you used to be a full-time software engineer with the right job title at your last job, but now you're unemployed due to a layoff or any other reason, then you seriously need to consider how you're going to make money right now. In that situation, you're rapidly entering the why is this candidate unemployed phase, meaning 3 to 6 plus months of unemployment, and speeding towards the unemployable phase, meaning 6 to 12 plus months of unemployment. While you may still want to return to full-time work as soon as possible, consider doing some type of client work, freelancing, or indie dev, even volunteer work open source contributions or hackathons, or even publishing your own apps online and in the app stores. Why? Well, those count as work for hiring managers, just less so than full-time work with the right job title. Nevertheless, everyone will be impressed that you didn't just sit around all day applying to thousands of jobs. I know your unemployed SWEs don't sit around. Unemployed SWEs apply to hundreds or thousands of jobs, but the hiring managers will think you were sitting around all day playing video games. So instead of just sitting around all day applying to 1,000s of jobs, you were freelancing for clients and released a solo app to the iOS App Store. Wrapping up, do you prefer a stable income? That said, nearly everyone prefers the illusion of stability and higher paydays of full-time salaried work. You could tell yourself it's because you love working on a team, but really the pay is higher and more consistent. I call it the illusion of stability, though, because discrimination against unemployed people destroys people's careers after every round of layoffs. On the other hand, it's not nearly as lucrative to freelance and be your own boss, let alone to be an indie game dev and content creator like me, but it is much more fulfilling. I also feel a lot less instability in my income and ability to earn a living wage, releasing my own projects and creating my own content than I ever did fearing layoffs and firing. Sure, I make a lot less overall, but I work only about a third of the hours that I used to, and my income isn't stuck waiting on a raise that never comes. It's a direct reflection of my business strategy and work input. If I need more money, I work harder, and I never have to write a LinkedIn post, receive BS feedback, or work Friday night fixing production bugs. Take it from me, I left full-time employment almost 2 years ago at this point to be an indie game dev and focus on my own intellectual property. It's awesome. I love being a content creator and indie game dev. I was a freelancer for 15 years. Here's why full-time software engineering jobs are still a trap. Was this video useful or trash? As always, I'm just one guy with 20 years of experience, so please tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. I appreciate it, and tell me, which SWE career topic should I cover next? Let me know in the comments. Hit like if you learned something, and subscribe to level up your career. I'm Dr. Derek Austin. Bye, fellow software engineer.